where do you see hydrogen adding the greatest value in India over the next 10 years or so?
Saurabh, I believe your question is pertaining to green hydrogen, because other hydrogen we have been using
it is
in
green
refineries
hydrogen,
and various sectors already, fertilizer sector, etc. Now, when you talk of green hydrogen, the major impediment at this point of time is the cost of green hydrogen. And that's a big bottleneck. Although the cost in India is becoming very, very competitive as compared to the rest of the world. So there are a lot of companies who have made commitments for export of green ammonia, etc. So that is one that maybe till such time they find the market in India for such hydrogen, they may try to export it as green ammonia. The sectors, another factor, if you see that you're talking on 10-year horizon, the prices may come down as is projected, and the major use of this hydrogen, I believe, will be in the sectors which are difficult to decarbonize, hard to abate sectors like steel, cement, fertilizer, refining. Refining, there is an obligation which the government has been putting, at least to the public sector companies, that certain percentage of their hydrogen should be replaced with green hydrogen. So that may be mandated for them. As far as the steel sector, cement sector, or other chemical industry, there are various other 13 sectors have been identified. So out of those, I believe steel sector, because CBAM coming from Europe, that unless you reduce you make it green steel, you will have to have cross-border tax also. So those kind of taxation, and also the carbon credit trading scheme, which is going to be implemented in India, which will force the companies to reduce their carbon footprint or pay carbon tax. So these are the industries where the green hydrogen may find some use in next 10 years. Of course, as far as the transport sector is concerned, the heavy-duty vehicles, the trucks, etc., they are not supposed to, they cannot carry the battery loads. They are supposed to carry the cargo loads. So the batteries become very heavy, so electrification is difficult. So those sectors where electrification is difficult, not possible, for transportation also, they may find use. So I think that is the other part. I think your second part was also there, that
no, it was primarily focused on this.
So that's fine?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Okay. Thanks for covering this. And you're right, I mean, part of the play here will be export-led as well when it comes to green hydrogen.
Initially export?
Yes.
Then the hard-to-abate sectors will start using it.
Correct, and then the hard-to-abate ones. The difference being, there are certain sectors where there is a mandate already. There are others where we are still not having a mandate, and which is why the adoption...
No, in fact, the other thing also to compensate for the cost is that we have the biohydrogen possibility also, which would be green. And as Professor Pant said, that we have potential for coal-to-hydrogen also, coal gasification. So if you want energy security, then maybe you capture carbon capture technologies, conversion of that CO2 into some chemicals to compensate for capturing cost. That could be another option. And so we should not be looking at only green hydrogen, we should be looking at low carbon hydrogen from
Correct.
that point of view. If you define only low carbon hydrogen, there may be huge market coming up quickly. But if you stick to green hydrogen, of course there are limitations of cost, and that's the biggest impediment.